Before you start spending your fuel, you might want to watch this video because a lot of content creators and a lot of accounts are struggling right now where they're at when it comes to equilibrium level and trying to get all their characters raised up to the right level. Now, right now I am also in the same spot as well because right now I am currently at level 52, struggling for resources, and it's because we all did the same thing with our fuel. And I'm going to be telling you the problem and also going to be telling you how to fix it, so make sure to watch the rest of this video so that you don't fall in the same path as everyone else. But before we get into that, make sure to leave a sub and like on the video if you're enjoying the Honkai Star Rail content. I also cover Genshin and Honkai Impact as well, so make sure to leave a sub for that if you enjoyed those games. But as I said before, a lot of accounts, including me, especially all the accounts that are level 50 when it comes to Trailblazer level and maybe even the higher level 40s, we are all in the same boat because we all wasted our fuel on the wrong thing. I'm going to be telling you what it is right now. As you can see, you could probably, if you have a good eye, tell what's already wrong when it comes to my stats. I am at 48 crit rate and 170 crit damage, and this means that I was farming for relics. At level 40, people say to start farming out relics because you are guaranteed the 1 5-star relic when it comes to grinding up the domains. Now, the problem about this is that there's 2 sets per relic domain. There's one set that you're probably looking for, and then the other set that may or may not be good. Now, when it comes to grinding out Sellet, which of course is the quantum domain, which a lot of people have their eyes on when they first start grinding out relics because they want to get their DPS to hit high numbers, this domain is absolutely terrible because the second set that comes from it is a damage reduction set that no one can really use, and this is basically net zero or not profiting from your energy spent and is basically wasting it and throwing it away. Now, I went ahead and spent all 30 fuel and only got to 48 crit rate and 170 crit damage, which isn't terrible, but it is not the best. Now, right now, everyone that I know so far that is playing the game that is up in these higher levels is struggling from the wrong thing, and the same thing, which is the lack of resources. When you hit level 40 and level 50, you are going to run into a resource drought, and I'm going to tell you why. A lot of the things in this game get very expensive once you start hitting level 40 and level 50. When you're trying to get to level 20 or level 30, you don't need any stagnant shadow materials. Level 40, none. Level 50, you're going to need 3. For level 60, you're going to need 7 stagnant shadow materials, but this is not bad in all honesty. This is still okay, good energy use. When you're trying to hit 70, you need 20 stagnant shadow materials and more of these overworld materials as well. And now when you're trying to hit level 80, you need 35 stagnant shadow materials. This is absolutely insane with how much it costs. And as you can see, by each ascension, you're going to be spending almost around 100k per ascension once you get to these last 2. And especially when you're trying to grind out multiple characters, like, you know, maybe your Bronya, maybe your Tingyun, your Fire MC, your Natasha, your Asta, your Pella, any of these other characters, because you do need 2 teams in the future for endgame content. You're going to be wasting a lot of these credits, a lot of your energy trying to get the materials that you need for a stagnant shadow, so be able to level them up past 80 or past 70. Now, you can't forget that your light cone also needs materials as well that use energy. These arrows, these trace materials, yes, these need to be used for the light cone, so that is another set of energy needs to be spent. Your traces also need other energy prone materials, which is the trace materials, and you also need the echoes of war materials as well. So as you can see, there are 3 different sources already that need you to be able to spend their energy to be able to get their talents up, their light cones up, their character up as a whole when it comes to ascension. And then, you know, there's the relic grinding as well. So as you can see, you do not want to start relic grinding at all at level 40. You just want the main stats that you're probably getting from these chests. Maybe if you have some to spare at the end of the day when you feel like you don't have enough to be able to grind something out, maybe throw 1 run at a relic domain and that's it. You kind of just want to stay with regular stats. I'm doing absolutely fine with some of my characters not running really anything. My Bronya still has +0 legendary artifacts. My Tingyun has okay sets, but I'm not leveling them up past this. She still has 3-star planar ornaments. You have a lot of characters that aren't going to be running anything really good. A lot of these are still +0. They're not going to be running anything crazy just because I do not want to waste more energy than I have to, giving these relic domains my energy and not getting anything out of it. You want to start grinding out these stagnant shadow materials as early as possible so that you're ready for these characters to be ascended to the next equilibrium. And especially when you're trying to grind out for future characters like Jing Yuan, you might want to grind out their stagnant shadow materials earlier because, as I said, this is a big energy dump in the future. The light cones need energy, the traces need energy, the character itself needs energy, and you're also going to be strapped for XP materials as well when it comes to leveling them up. I don't have that much. Even if I used the rest of these to level up, I'm only going to be left with like a couple green books left, and I still have to level up other characters like my Bronya, my Natasha. There's so many other characters that need XP materials. Same with Litecoin XP. You just want to make sure you're spending your energy on all the resources that you possibly need to level up that character that you use the most, or the teams that you use the most, because relic farming is not going to be efficient, because you have a chance of not getting something that you want to be able to use, like how this lightning set for damage. I have no crit rate, crit damage substats on these head pieces or anything like that, so I can't really use them. They're not really usable. And this is basically pictured as an image that my energy was not well spent, and especially at level 40, when you're only getting one 5-star relic, you're not going to be getting anything out of it. You're not going to be getting probably the stuff that you want, and you're looking for very specific substats when it comes to having a DPS, when it comes to having a healer, because a lot of these characters need different things, and sometimes they just drop with absolute garbage when it comes to the substats, like full defense, full HP when you're trying to work with the DPS, and maybe crit rate, crit damage, and attack when you're trying to work for a healer. There's just so many things that could go wrong with relic farming that you do not want to waste your fuel when it comes to using them on relics. You want to use it on stagnant shadow materials, number 1. You want to use it on trace materials, number 2. You want to use it on Echoes of War, of course. You also want to get XP and light cone materials as well, so that you're able to level those up accordingly to your equilibrium level, because if you don't level them up accordingly, your damage is going to fall off. You're going to be taking more damage. You're going to have a higher chance to be knocked out when it comes to actually using harder content, or actually playing harder content. So yeah, there's just a lot of things that you could do way better, that you could set yourself for success when it comes to playing Honkai Star Rail, and grinding those relics are not it for sure. It may look nice at first, and it also may do good when it comes to doing in-game content faster, but honestly, the speed at which you clear it, as long as you get it clear, is honestly all that matters. You do not want to sacrifice time for energy, because holy crap, the energy you need to be able to prepare yourself once you've already run yourself dry when it comes to having that energy and to be able to use the resources is a very painful experience. You are going to be energy dumping so much when you hit these higher equilibrium levels, and I don't want y'all to fall into the same spot that I am in, or other content creators are in, because we decided to rush the game. We thought relic domain farming was going to be it, and then we noticed, bam, that those equilibrium levels are going to hit us hard with those stagnant shadow materials. So other than that, that's pretty much it when it comes to the video. Make sure to spend it on the right stuff: stagnant shadow materials, trace materials, XP, all that type of stuff. Get your guaranteed gains instead of something by chance, which are the relics. But other than that, thank you guys so much for watching. See you on the next one, and peace.